The lion may reign as the king of the land, yet even it can fall to a pack of hyenas. The eagle might dominate the skies, but once night falls, it becomes vulnerable to the silent strike of an owl. And beneath the waves, many believe orcas, often called killer whales, rule without question. In this episode, you'll discover why killer whales scare whales and other animals. Stay with us. To most people, orcas might look like just another kind of whale, massive, powerful, and swimming among the giants of the ocean. They are dolphins, in fact, the largest dolphin species ever recorded. What makes them stand out even more is not just their size, but their intelligence. Orcas, often called killer whales, don't rely on brute strength alone. They are strategic hunters and cunning. Marine biologists rank them among the most intelligent animals, alongside chimpanzees, elephants, and other dolphins. A 2024 study in the Marine Mammal Science Journal highlighted orcas' advanced problem-solving abilities, long-term memory, and even cultural behaviors, unique traditions passed down from generation to generation. Each orca pod is like a distinct society. They have their own dialects, hunting techniques, and food preferences. Specialize in corralling schools of fish into tight balls before feasting. Others have mastered wave washing, a tactic where they generate waves to knock seals off icy platforms. In 2025, researchers from the University of British Columbia and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration documented over 450 distinct vocalizations among orca communities worldwide. These vocal dialects serve as complex communication tools, coordinating hunts, sharing knowledge, and strengthening social bonds. Many scientists believe this is the key advantage orcas have. Their coordination, intelligence, and cultural knowledge create a level of strategy unmatched by any whale. It's not just strength or speed that makes whales fear them. It's the orca's ability to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast them, generation after generation. Orcas are far more than powerful swimmers or sharp-toothed hunters. They are tacticians, masters of coordinated attacks and precise strikes. Every movement, every signal, every blow is calculated with chilling accuracy. A study from the International Journal of Marine Mammalogy confirmed that orcas possess the most advanced hunting intelligence ever recorded in any non-human marine species, even surpassing dolphins and seals. When it comes to hunting sharks, orcas show no recklessness. They know exactly where to strike. By targeting the shark's snout and flipping it upside down, they trigger a phenomenon known as tonic immobility, a temporary paralysis. The result is one of the ocean's most feared predators is left floating helplessly like driftwood. However, when orcas face schools of fish, they showcase a different masterpiece. Working together, they circle the fish, blowing streams of bubbles to form an underwater net. The confused fish, tightly packed into a glimmering silver ball, have nowhere to run. Then, one by one, the orcas move in to feast. According to NOAA Fisheries, carousel feeding, as it is called, ranks among the most efficient fish hunting strategies observed in the entire marine ecosystem. It is when orcas hunt whales that their most chilling tactics unfold. A pod of orcas will surround a young whale, knowing well that sheer size alone does not win battles. The strategy focuses on isolating calves, driving them away from their mothers. For hours, orcas harass their prey, nipping at fins, ramming with blunt heads, and blocking blowholes. Exhausted and panicked, the young whale is gradually driven. What makes this even more alarming is that orcas do not rely solely on instinct. These techniques are taught. According to the World Cetacean Research Report, young orcas spend years observing and practicing under the guidance of experienced adults. They do not simply learn how to hunt, they learn how to plan. This knowledge is passed down through generations, making each pod sharper, more adaptable, and increasingly unpredictable. Dr. Hannah Gray, a marine researcher from the Pacific Orca Project, observed a remarkable scene off Vancouver Island in late 2024. She watched as two adult orcas patiently guided a calf through a seal hunt. It was not random play. It was deliberate teaching, correction, and mentorship, like a classroom beneath the waves. Ultimately, it is not brute strength that terrifies whales. It is intelligence. Orcas do not just survive in the ocean. They dominate it. And perhaps most unsettling of all, they are still improving. Orcas are not reckless hunters. They are patient, calculated, and relentless. When targeting young whales, they do not rush. Instead, they probe, they wait, and they divide. Through constant harassment, they exhaust both calf and mother until the young whale is isolated, slow, and defenseless. As marine observers often note, even the largest whales avoid them. Several orcas, which are large-toothed dolphins, once forced a blue whale to flee. Even giants like that prefer not to risk a confrontation. And the fear is justified. According to the NOAA Cetacean Behavioral Study, nearly one-third of migrating gray whales now change their traditional routes to avoid areas patrolled by orcas. Some even abandon critical feeding grounds just to steer clear of these black and white predators. Every spring, gray whales migrate thousands of kilometers from the lagoons of Baja California to the Arctic's food-rich waters. Yet standing between them and survival is the Killing Corridor, a stretch of ocean controlled by orca pods. For calves, this passage is a trial by terror. Orcas lie in wait, timing their ambushes to perfection. Dr. Lena McAllister, who has studied these hunts for more than 10 years, recalls, "I've watched mother gray whales push their calves towards the shallows, doing everything to block the attacks. But the orcas? They circle patiently, waiting for the slightest mistake. Remarkably, humpback whales often intervene. In 2024, the Marine Mammal Protection Society documented over 20 confirmed cases of humpbacks disrupting orca hunts, even when the victim is another species' calf. Some researchers suggest empathy, others suspect an instinct to disrupt predation itself. Whatever the reason, it adds emotional weight to this already intense battle. Perhaps the most shocking event happened in early 2025, when drone footage recorded a pod of orcas successfully hunting a fully grown, healthy blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist. The footage, published in the Global Marine Wildlife Journal, revealed not chaos, but precision. The orcas took turns, exploited the whale's exhaustion, and carried out a calculated, coordinated kill. According to the Pacific Whale Conservation Report, some gray whale groups now extend their migration by nearly 500 kilometers just to avoid these killer whales. Fear itself is reshaping the very map of the ocean. And yet, the most unsettling part isn't just how orcas hunt, it's what they choose to eat. You might expect that after hours of exhausting a whale, dragging it underwater, and breaking through its defenses, orcas would feast on every last bite. Yet, orcas are anything but ordinary predators. They are selective, even picky, and their dining habits continue to baffle scientists. In most documented whale hunts, orcas often eat only the tongue, a single nutrient-packed muscle. In shark hunts, the story is similar, but the target changes. Orcas focus on the liver, an organ rich in squalene, a high-energy oil critical for orca metabolism. According to the Marine Apex Predator Nutrition Study, shark livers are among the most energy-dense organs in the ocean, making them, in the eyes of orcas, a delicacy. Curiously, hunger alone does not seem to drive these predators. Orcas often take only the most valuable parts, ignoring the rest. This behavior has left even veteran marine biologists scratching their heads. Why would such skilled hunters, capable of taking down the largest animals on Earth, abandon most of their kill? The answer appears to lie in their intelligence. Orcas do not just hunt smart, they eat smart. They consistently choose the highest reward for the least effort, showing that their decisions go far beyond mere instinct. It is a calculated, almost surgical approach to survival. Even more fascinating, these preferences are not universal. They differ from pod to pod. Some pods specialize in hunting seals, others in harvesting whale tongues, and some target shark livers with high precision. This variation is no accident. The Global Orca Culture Survey confirmed that orca pods pass down distinct food traditions through generations, shaping their hunting styles and prey choices. But even with all this intelligence, orcas are not the only ones playing the game. Whales have their own tricks to fight back. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Despite having survived for millions of years, whales now face a predator unlike any they have ever encountered, the orca. Yet, whales are not without defenses. Over time, they have developed strategies to withstand the relentless attacks. Sperm whales, for instance, are known for forming one of the ocean's most effective defensive formations, the rosette. In this living fortress, the adults arrange themselves in a tight circle, their massive tails pointed outward, while the calves are sheltered at the center. Each tail, measuring up to 16 feet, is a formidable weapon capable of delivering bone-crushing blows. A study by the International Cetacean Defense Research Group found that orcas rarely attack large male sperm whales, as the risk of serious injury is simply too high. Meanwhile, gray whales have adopted a different approach. They migrate closer to coastlines where orcas struggle to maneuver effectively. Humpback whales, on the other hand, sometimes rely on stealth. According to the Pacific Marine Mammal Acoustic Report, certain populations have been recorded lowering their vocalizations to frequencies undetectable by orcas, allowing them to pass through dangerous waters unnoticed. However, orcas are quick to adapt. When whales hide near the shore, orcas work together to force them back into open water. When whales go silent, orcas compensate by relying more heavily on sight, coordinating their attacks visually instead of acoustically. And the cost of these encounters is staggering. The latest global whale migration report revealed that whale pods only succeed in saving their calves about 27% of the time, even when using their most effective defense strategies. For whales, every migration is more than just a journey. It is a battle for survival. A single bad season, marked by heavy calf losses, can set an entire population back for generations. Yet what makes orcas truly unsettling is not just how they hunt, but how they seem to enjoy it. The Global Marine Predator Behavior Report confirmed that orcas often engage in hunts not purely for survival, but for play. And that raises a question: what kind of predator plays when the stakes are life and death? Take seals, for instance. When cornered, they often escape onto floating ice, temporarily out of reach. Yet, for orcas, this is just the opening move. Pods work together, launching synchronized waves to wash the seal back into the water. Interestingly, they do not rush to kill. Instead, they seem to enjoy the game. Again and again, they push the seal off, allowing it to climb back up, only to knock it down once more. It is as if they are playing a version of catch. And this behavior is not limited to seals. Researchers have documented orcas flipping stingrays through the air like frisbees, hurling seals meters above the waves, and even striking penguins with their powerful tails. It becomes clear that orcas are not driven solely by hunger. They seem to make conscious choices between mercy and cruelty. Some scientists believe this behavior may stem from curiosity, social bonding, or even entertainment. The Orca Behavior Analysis Project recorded more than 60 cases of non-lethal play with prey by different orcapods worldwide in just the past 2 years. For the prey, whether it is a seal, a stingray, or even a young whale, this changes everything. They are not simply facing a predator hunting to survive. They are facing a predator willing to prolong the pain, to experiment, and yet, despite their intelligence, coordination, and power, orcas are not invincible. Even the masters of the ocean sometimes make costly mistakes, revealing a side of them few expect: vulnerability. One of their boldest and most dangerous hunting strategies is shoreline hunting. Orcas have been observed chasing seals so aggressively that they launch themselves onto beaches, sandbanks, or into shallow tidal zones. It is a breathtaking maneuver, but a perilous one. Every year, some orcas misjudge the distance or the force of a wave. They push too far onto land, becoming stranded, left helpless under the sun until the tide returns. The ocean's top predator, feared by whales and seals alike, is suddenly reduced to a creature panting on the beach, while the seal, the intended prey, often slips away unharmed. According to the 2024 report by the British Columbia Orca Rescue Network, there were 14 documented live strandings caused by failed shoreline hunts. This number was slightly higher than the 10-year annual average reported by the Orca Stranding and Rehabilitation Report. While many of these stranded orcas managed to escape with the rising tide, not all were so fortunate. In several cases, survival depended entirely on human intervention. These incidents expose an unexpected reality. Orcas, despite being apex predators, are still subject to the risks and unpredictability of nature. They are not immune to miscalculating a wave or underestimating a shoreline. For the seals watching from the safety of the water, it may seem like justice, but for us, it is a sobering reminder. Orcas are not invincible monsters. They are living creatures, capable of failure and risk. And in the grand balance of the ocean, even the most formidable hunters are sometimes at the mercy of the very environment they dominate. Have you ever seen stranded whales or dolphins being rescued? How did it make you feel to see such powerful animals so vulnerable? Share your story or thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective. While orcas are often portrayed as fearsome hunters, they occasionally reveal a different side. One of the most well-known cases is Luna, a young orca who, after becoming separated from his pod near Vancouver Island, did not shy away from humans. Instead, he actively sought them out. Locals described Luna as curious, playful, and surprisingly gentle. He swam alongside boats, followed kayakers, and even nudged docks, all as if eager to interact. Yet this apparent friendliness has a darker contrast. Many remember Tilikum, the captive orca at the center of the Blackfish documentary. Tilikum, kept for years at SeaWorld, was involved in the deaths of 3 people, including experienced trainer Dawn Brancheau during a live performance. Despite these events, Tilikum continued to perform for audiences, generating millions of dollars for the park until his death. In 2024, the Global Orca Behavior Archive recorded more than 70 documented cases of orcas baiting seabirds. The method? Orcas were seen tossing floating fish scraps near the surface. Seabirds, spotting an easy meal, swooped down, only to be ambushed and swallowed. More strikingly, juvenile orcas have been observed practicing this tactic repeatedly until they perfected it, proving that this is not just instinct, it is learned behavior. And this raises a troubling question. If orcas can deceive birds with such ease, what else might they be capable of? As one marine biologist once asked, what if, to them, we are just skinny, hairy seals? It is a thought that unsettles many. Orcas have not in recent history been known to attack humans in the wild. Yet considering their intelligence, their ability to manipulate, deceive, and even play, are we entirely safe when we enter their world? More importantly, do they view us as companions or as a challenge? The deeper researchers dive into the world of orcas and whales, the clearer it becomes this is not simply predator versus prey. It is something far more intricate. Orcas and whales are engaged in what marine biologists now describe as a cultural arms race, where intelligence, tradition, and adaptation continuously reshape the struggle beneath the waves. For whales, brute strength alone has never been enough. Instead, they have evolved strategies refined over generations. One of their most remarkable defenses is the creation of silence zones, areas where whales reduce or entirely cease vocalizing to avoid detection. Moreover, whales have physically reshaped their migration routes. Traditional paths used for thousands of years are now shifting. The Global Whale Migration Atlas recorded that several populations of gray and humpback whales are adjusting their journeys by hundreds of kilometers, bypassing orca-dominated corridors. This detour demands more energy but offers a higher chance of survival, especially for vulnerable calves. However, orcas are not merely watching from the sidelines, they are adapting just as fast. Some pods have learned to take advantage of these silent zones, shifting from sound-based hunting to relying more on sight, stealth, and surface patrols. Others have developed new hunting strategies specifically tailored to altered whale behaviors. In the North Pacific, orcas have been observed shadowing smaller whale groups along coastal cliffs, forcing them into open water, where defenses are harder to maintain. The Marine Mammal Cultural Transmission Study confirmed that these tactics are not instinctual. Young orcas learn them through social learning, passed down from experienced adults. At the same time, young whales are also trained. They are guided along the new migration routes and taught the silent strategies crucial for survival. Ultimately, this is more than a simple predator-prey relationship. It is a dynamic rivalry, fueled by intelligence and culture on both sides, one that continues to evolve with every generation. And so, beneath the waves, this battle quietly rages on, mostly unseen yet ever-present. It is far more than a simple fight for survival. It is a clash of cultures, strategies, and intelligence. On one side, the whales, guided by ancient migration routes, whispered songs, and desperate defensive instincts. On the other, the orcas, constantly evolving, patient, calculating, and disturbingly creative. This is precisely why whales, even giants like the blue whale, fear orcas. It is not because of brute strength, it is not because of oath-whelming size. It is because orcas think. They problem-solve, they adapt, and most importantly, they teach. And perhaps that is the most unsettling truth of all. In the wild, it is not size that rules, it is intelligence. Orcas stand as living proof that brains can, and often do, overcome brawn. So the next time you hear the distant hum of the ocean, remember, somewhere out there, a pod of orcas is already perfecting its next strategy, and every whale knows it. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I hope you'll love this content. Comment below about the next topic you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.